Hi, it's week 2 of the programme, and it's been quite a week. Quite a few issues have come up for me this week, and it's been a sort of busy and stressful time. So it's been interesting. I've been trying very hard, working hard, not to overeat emotionally, and I think I've been about 99% successful in that. But in not eating down my feelings, it's been really interesting looking at the kinds of feelings I've had to face, which normally I think I'd possibly be quite oblivious of, or oblivious to, because I'd have eaten them down. So that's really been a kind of wake-up call about how I've been using food to block my feelings, and to some extent I felt, calm and nurtured and rewarded and things like that after I've eaten. I've distracted myself from the original reason why I've practically run to the fridge, and yet I've also rendered myself a bit powerless, in the sense that I'm not stopping to think about whatever everyday difficulty or situation or conversation has caused me to believe that food is the only answer. And that's quite an interesting one, really. I thought it was because I was quite a sensitive person that I reached for food the way I did, and I thought it's because I'd always believed that I was too sensitive, and I perhaps I'd been told many times in my life I should probably toughen up. And actually the reality is that the hunger coach this week which is part of the programme, has looked at catastrophe predictions, which is a style of thinking that means that fears and worries and anxieties just escalate. And I realise that I do that a lot more than I ever thought I did. So whereas I thought I'm quite a positive person, my sort of mental programming, if you like, is far from that. I believe the worst case scenario will often take place, but of course, stopping to think about that, the reality probably isn't true. If X, Y, or Z happens, then it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, as I know it. And so just being faced with that and realising that, of course that's going to make me fearful of my feelings, and to believe that I'm incredibly sensitive, and that perhaps make me feel as if I'm not able to cope without the food. Wow, interesting stuff. So that's another really valuable tool to become aware of when I'm entering this sort of catastrophe prediction zone. That's my words, not the programme. And what that might mean for how I respond to my feelings. I do think it's interesting though, because I can see how in the overall themes with the Shrink Yourself programme, it looks at powerlessness, and I can see how that if I've been using food to block my real feelings, and then not really addressing them at all, and believing that they're the things that I'm hiding from, or the things that I'm using food to feel better about, are really awful, then I'm preventing myself from building positive strategies and building my own confidence and self-awareness. And that's quite a powerful realisation, I think. So thank you once again, Shrink Yourself, for providing me with lots of food for thought instead of food on my plate, and I look forward to sharing progress with you again next week. I hope that this process is helpful to you, and that some of you can relate to what I'm saying. Thank you.